Welcome to Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura, and today's October 31st, which means it is Halloween. And I could do with just a little bit of a table arrangement, but I need it quick and easy. I need something that says Halloween or fall. So I'm going to make a fabric pumpkin. Now what I'm going to need is an old wine cork, a rectangular piece of fabric, some fiber fill, and if you don't have any fiber fill handy, you can always take apart an old pillow, sewing needle, and some strong thread. Let's start with our rectangular piece of fabric. Now I do have a beautiful, soft, plushy fabric. It is a very long rectangle. So I need to establish what size do I want. It's going to be really easy. Really, any rectangle is going to work, but you can sort of have a judge on how big it's going to be. Whatever rectangle you have, just take that, pin the two sides together, and then pull it apart. And you're going to see that that is how big round the pumpkin is going to be. But when I imagine this in and the top in, it's going to be very fat and long and not really pumpkin looking. So I do want to shorten it a bit. So I'm just going to take that and kind of judge what I think is going to be a nice circumference of that pumpkin. I'm not going to worry about the edges that get pulled in. I just want that outside measurement. I'm going to take those two shorter ends and stitch them together. When I stitch this together, instead of back stitching and cutting the threads off, I'm going to pull the thread from the machine so I have a bobbin and a top stitch thread, one big long piece that's attached. This is going to be my first sewing thread. You could gather this by machine, but I really find just leaving that attached and hand stitching works great. Put that thread into a needle and then just do a running stitch all the way along the bottom. It's already attached, so I'm not worried about it coming apart. So I'm going to run that thread all the way around. Once I've gone all the way around, I'm just going to pull that tight, squeeze where that thread comes out of, and tie a knot. So that one side is done. Turn it and make sure that it looks okay from that one side. If you find some of the things are poking out, just do stitches from one side to the other just to kind of hold that all together. The next thing I'm going to do is do a row of stitching all the way around the outside, and I want to do that before I put that fiber fill in. It's just easier to work when I can hold it with my hand. I do want to go over about a 1/2 inch and stitch at about that 1/2 inch mark. What will happen as I gather those threads, I'm going to be able to tuck that little edge in, and that's going to give me a clean finish for the top. I'm going to leave the needle on and stuff it. Once I have that all in, now I'm going to be able to pull that. And as I pull it, I'm going to take those edges and tuck them in. So tuck it in and pull. Tuck that edge in and pull. Do a couple of stitches to hold this together and tie it off. And when you do that tuck and pull, you can see all of the raw edges have been tucked inside. So this I'm going to have for the top. If you start with nice long thread, you're going to be able to start and make those little sides of the pumpkin. I have that one. I'm just going to wrap it, go through the bottom, and bring it up to the top. Pulled. Now I'm going to tie it off at the top. I'm going to make a couple of more folds, doubling up on my thread. Regardless if it's the top or the bottom, we do want to catch both sides. So we have that hole, and I want to catch on both sides. Bring it back to the bottom and do another tie off. Do as many little lines as you want your little pumpkin to have. Once all of his sides are done, we're going to be able to glue in this cork. We can use a hot glue gun. If not, you can use a strong tacky glue. So we're just going to glue that in and hold it down. If you don't have a wine cork, depending on the size of your pumpkin, you can use old spools from thread. And all we would have to do is just wrap that up with a little bit of brown fabric. But I love the way the corks look. And if we have time, we can always decorate them. If you have some leftover ribbon and lace, if you have a little leaf from a silk plant, a few little bows, and our little pumpkin is ready for the table. So it doesn't matter the size, we just need to start with a rectangle. It won't matter what fabric we make these little pumpkins from. They can be from quilting cotton, velvet, satins, anything that's left over. Old sweaters, old shirts, plaids, well, it really is unlimited. It probably will take you more time to find the fabric than it will be to make the little pumpkin. Just a quick little decoration just in time for tonight's Halloween. And thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I do have a newsletter. It's all free under Sew Very Easy. And be sure to make every day a Sewtacular day. Bye for now.